Hello, guys. Welcome back to Yes Academy podcast. And here with me again, Phang.
Yo.
Yeah. So let's recap on what we learned last week. So we talked about how can we tackle the existing customers and how do we do that. So from what we remember, we do the upselling and we also do the cross-selling. Okay. So if you have missed that, please watch the video back. And this week, I believe we're going to talk about the other two customers, right?
Right. We are going to talk about potential customers, and later on we may talk about cold customers.
Great.
Right. Right. So let's start off with now. Before we go into cold customers or potential customers, I'd like to add on a bit more in terms of existing customers. Now, let's say your customers are happy with you. Your existing customers are happy with you.
Okay.
What other things you may get from them? Please do get something.
Oh, I mean, if they are really happy with me, then of course they have to give me more sales and buy more things from me.
Yeah, besides that.
Oh, okay. If they are really happy, usually, how do I know they are happy? Definitely they will send us comments, testimonies.
Correct.
Yeah.
Feedback. Yeah.
And then I think those testimony feedbacks, especially in chats, we often use that to actually do advertisement marketing.
Correct.
So are you referring to that?
Yes, correct. One of the things that you need to ask your customer to do if they are really happy with your product is please get a testimony.
Wow. Testimony is actually the most powerful weapon in marketing.
Yeah, because it is the easy way to convince other people, potential customers. Why? Because your customer's one word is better than your 10 words.
That's true. And even sometimes people engineer their testimony as well.
Correct.
Not ethical thing, don't learn.
We are here to share with you what is ethical and what is not ethical. That's not my part. I think Leo's part will be that.
No.
All right. So let's move on, right? Now, the other thing which you can also get from your existing customers, if they are really happy with you, is please get this, right? Referrals. Now, what is referral? What do you think, you?
I think it's quite similar to the converting them to the partner thing, right? It's like they refer customers to you.
Correct. Now, what happens here is this. Let's say A is the customer, right? And A is very happy with what you have been doing. So what A will do is that get A, right, to introduce their friends because they also have friends. Get A to introduce their friends or their relatives or whoever, and that is what we call as referrals.
I see. So with these referrals, because they are really happy, so because of their relationship with their referrals as well, it becomes easier for us to actually close the sales. Oh, this all calls under existing customers as well, even referrals.
Right. So existing customers can actually help you to do it because potential customers and cold customers will not provide referrals.
No, they will not, unless they really try the product. But that time they have become your existing
Correct.
customers.
You need to convert them to existing customers. Then only they will be able to refer their friends, their relatives, or whoever they want to refer to. Other than that, nobody will refer.
Oh, that's why that when you say that when you want to push for the more sales, then the first people that you should find is actually your existing customers.
Correct. Right. When you are really desperate to hit your target, please go to your existing customers first.
I see. Wow, I think we learned so much about getting existing customers to actually pay.
Well, just talking about customers alone can be a big topic by itself. Yeah?
That's true. So I think we done with the...
we are done with the existing customers.
Wow.
Yeah, so just existing customer only. Now, let's move on to potential customers.
Are you guys ready for potential customers? I think this is one of the topics that everyone is waiting for, because potential customer is, I think it's quite challenging, I would say.
A potential customer, to me, it's the most challenging among the three groups of customers.
Because they have never have any relationship before with you, and that's why let's just put it this way, the most fun part.
Let's put it this way, right? Because they don't know you and you don't know them. And when you don't know each other, that's where it makes the things more challenging.
I see. I can't really wait to hear from you. Are you guys ready? If you guys ready, please type yes in the chat box.
All right, now let's move on, right? Now, what do you need to do when you are approaching potential customers. Now, the first thing that you'll need to do is this. Always remember, you need to have a list of people to contact. Right. So what it means is that this is called generating leads. In sales, we call this prospecting, where you need to have a list of people for you to contact and for you to make appointment to approach them and to meet up with them. Yeah. So that is the first thing that you need. You need to have that list.
Yeah. I think everyone have their own perspectives as well, because okay, let's put it this way. No man is an island. Everyone has their own friends.
Correct.
It's either your family, father, mother, brother, sister, or relative, or maybe your friends. Definitely your friends, because you grow up with primary school, secondary school, workplaces, universities. Yeah. I think you're referring to that, right?
Yes, correct. All right. Now, there are two ways in terms of how you can actually get leads, generate leads or get leads or prospecting, right? Those days, there's only one, that is offline. Now you can use online, right? You can use both offline and online. Now, let me start off with offline first. Now, offline, basically, yes, your parents, your siblings, your friends, your relatives, your wife's family members, those are what we call as within your circle. Those people that's within your circle. So that is one way in terms of how you can get leads. That market, we call it the warm market. We call it the warm market. So that's how we define those who are close to you. You know them, they know you. That's warm market.
So how about cold market? You talk about offline, so that will be online, right?
Correct. Cold market are strangers. Like, for example, you meet someone at the bus stop, or you meet someone at the coffee shop, or you meet someone at the hotel, and you start off a conversation with them. That's cold market.
Oh, I see.
Now, why cold market is so important is because your warm market is limited. Everybody has a limited warm market. You cannot be talking to your friends and telling them about your business, because sometimes they don't need it.
That's true.
Not all your friends will need whatever that you are selling. So that is why your warm market is very limited. So the next market that you need to go to is your cold market. Yes, and that's a bigger market.
And definitely, I believe, will be more difficult.
Very, very challenging. Because right now, if you look at it, when you approach someone that you don't know and the person don't know you, they will try to avoid you.
Yeah, that's true. I'll try to avoid, especially if they come in intention to sell me things. No, thank you.
Yes, with the intention to sell you things, they say, no, thank you, right? Then after that, you quickly walk off, correct?
That's true.
That's human nature. But we cannot discount cold market. Why? Because that's where the market is. That's where the big market is. So that is why we cannot discount cold market. Those days we need to go to office by office, shops by shops, people by people, just to get the contact. Just to get the list. So
those
can
times
you imagine?
Are so difficult. I mean, I don't think anyone was willing to do this kind of job anymore. I mean, especially young people today, even standing in front of the shop to promote things is a big hurdle for them. I don't think they want to do that anymore.
I don't think the young generation can take it.
Nope. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
But there are still people doing that, right? As, like, for example, when you're standing in front of the bank, or you're going to the bank, then people will be saying, hey, come, give me your contact, give me your...
but it's not as before. Last time, those people are so aggressive. They will be just literally bombarding until you give them something. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, that is where warm market, then cold market, the next action or next thing that you can do for offline is basically referrals.
Okay, you mentioned that existing customers can give you referrals,
right.
But how does this cold market, or let's just put it this way, potential customer give you referrals?
Potential customers cannot give you referrals, but when your existing customers were to provide you referrals, then those referrals become your potential customers.
I see. So this is where they becomes our potential customer.
Correct. So they will become your potential customers, and I will say that if let's say your existing customers were to provide you with their referrals, usually these are the people who may have a need for your product. So the chances of closing is actually very high.
Yeah, I think it's more likely to do with because this was referred by someone they trust.
Yes.
And that's a trust that, because usually when we introduce someone, we say that this is our friend.
Correct.
And something like that because of the connection and trust, though,
Yeah.
it increases the likelihood of the closing rate.
Correct. So that is where, if the existing customer were to recommend someone, that is why you need to ask for referrals.
That's true.
Because the chances of closing is higher.
Well, just now I did not ask you. I mean, in last two episodes, this episode even last. So how can we convince that person, okay, to actually give us referral? I mean, what's the golden word? What's the golden pickup line?
Okay, this one I will cover in subsequent episodes because that involves the selling system. Are you aware that selling is actually a system?
Oh, okay.
There is a system that everybody's follow, which means that they, in terms of how they get leads, which is the first step. Then after that, make appointment. Then after that, how to make appointment. There's also a system by itself. After that, the preparation that has to be made. Then the presentation, the sales presentation. Then handling objections and closing. So it is a system.
Oh wow! I didn't know that things can go into those details. So details in the devils.
Yeah. If we understand the details, then yes, we know what we are supposed to be doing.
I'm glad that Mr. Phang is going to share with us all the tips and tricks on how we should handle this sales system.
Yes, we will do that, right? We will do that. All right, now let's move on to the next one. The next one is in terms of exhibitions and events offline, right? So if let's say you have exhibitions and events, this is where you will get your prospects to come in, and then this is the right target market for you. So this is the place there your target market will come, and this is where you need to get their leads, their contact number, information, and every single thing.
Yeah, we do that quite often as well. We do that every few months where we actually do a mega BOP, mega seminar, and we ask our existing customers, to give their referrals and invite their friends to come to hear.
Potential customers.
Yeah, potential customers.
Right, yes. That is an example of events where you can actually get to know who are these potential customers.
I see. So events, and in events, usually what are the things that we need to be mindful so that we can increase our likelihood of closing?
That is where, again, it is in the selling system.
I see. Maybe I'm a little bit too rushy.
Yeah. Understandable, right? Yes. And last but not least are trade directories. Now, for those of you who are doing B2B, trade directories are a source of how you can get referrals. Now, in every association, they always have a list of members, and they will usually print out this list, and you can actually get this list whether it is in the form of a book or in online also.
Yes. And talking about trade registry, are you talking about like something like a persatuan, a committee of
associations? Yes.
Association.
Yes. Yeah. Every industry, they have their own associations.
I see. Okay, maybe I can share with you. This is something that I realized, especially in direct selling. A lot of them actually go to association, all kinds of association, to actually get their leads.
Right.
And one of their favorite places will be the church and the mosque. And interestingly, because this is where many people just connect and casually connect, and because the products that we sell are more or less consumer products that most of people need, like health products. Everyone needs that. So which is why that they actually go to church. Sometimes some of them are very, very smart. They go to people of authority, the pastor, the bishop, just to convince them. Once you get a bishop and pastor, that means you get like the whole church.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. So that is a way in terms of how they can get leads offline.
Offline leads,
right? So let's go for a short break, and then when we come back, we are going to share with you in terms of how we can get online leads. Be right back.
Hey guys, welcome back. So just now we talked about offline leads. So next will be online leads. And
yes, next will be online. And this is something new, I would say that, right? Because those days when I started to do sales and I started to do marketing, we don't have technology. So we have to do offline. And in life, I did twice on offline cold call, right? Cold call. And if you ask me whether I should do it the third time, I would say no. It's very, very tough and very, very challenging.
You mean online getting leads?
No, offline.
Oh yeah, offline. Is very difficult.
Yes, right. Offline is very. And just to share with you, recently I was back in my hometown and I met this guy. He was coming to sell things, and you know what? He has been doing that for 20 over years.
Oh my.
Yes, 20 over years he has been going from coffee shops to coffee shops, places to places, and just to sell. I remember at that time he was still very young. His hair was still black, but when I saw him, he was like kind of old, and the hair is like growing white. So he has been doing that for 20 over years.
Wow, I cannot imagine the dedication.
Though very dedicated, and yeah.
What does he sell, if I may ask?
Oh, he's selling like pants, those kind of stuff. Yeah, those kind of stuff that we are, the stuff that we usually get when we are sitting now in the coffee shops.
Oh, okay, that explains. I think this won't be actually a very efficient way. When online came about, things just exploded. Let's just talk about Alibaba. Alibaba is is the number one platform where you can get leads, and then that's where just with one platform you can get so many customers.
Definitely. And one of those days, right? I believe which company started off in Malaysia, I would say will be AirAsia. How they sold tickets. Right? They don't have salespeople. I don't believe they have agents also. So what you want to buy a flight ticket, you go online. All they did was just make the website accessible. You go online, you just book it, bam, that's it.
Yeah. And back then, those days, because flight tickets are very expensive, so they become the only affordable choices, and that's why through the word of mouth, I believe, they just get viral as well.
Right. So today, let us discuss about online.
I love this topic so much.
All right. Now, one of the things that you need to do online is to create a sales funnel.
Sales funnel.
Yes, sales funnel. As we know, funnel goes like this, right? Goes like this, and then after that it comes down. So basically, it's going to be wide at the top and small at the bottom. So wide at the top means that that's where the prospects are. That's why it is wide, and then the small one are the customers. The down are the customers. So that's why it's only very narrow, because not everyone will become your customer. So I would strongly urge any organization to start off a sales funnel. And you may ask me, what is a sales funnel? Sales funnel is to generate whatever inquiries that you have from all your social medias, all your online platforms, generate it, and then you start converting them to become your customers. So that is what a sales funnel will do.
Yeah, this is something I think very important, because I think it's not easy for you to go to online and say, do you want to buy my product? I don't think anyone will respond to that. So I think today people actually respond more to short videos or to things that are interesting, or even humor. I would say humor is the best.
All right. Those are the examples in terms of how you can bring those people to your platforms. And then at your platform, you get them to register. When they register, which means that they voluntarily provide their contact information, their email addresses, their contact numbers, and then you can keep in touch with them. When they will buy, we are not sure. So it will go along the funnel.
I see. So is there any defined system or steps where, how are we going to do this sales funnel thing? Like, for example, how many steps are there in the sales funnel?
Okay, let me just share with you this one first. Where are the platforms you can use to generate the funnel first? Okay. And then what are the things that you need to do at every level? There are actually 3 levels in the funnel. All right. Okay. Now, the first one that you can generate the funnel is that from your social media. For example, from LinkedIn, from Facebook,
Instagram,
IG, yes, right? And when people see the product, they may just, hey, I'm interested in this product, right? Then I will contact the company, for example, send in a request, then they will pass on their registered number or whatever, and then after that, they are starting to be at the top of the funnel. That's in terms of social media. Live stream, yes, you do a lot of live stream.
Yeah, plenty of them. We do bi-weekly Global Zoom, and now we are doing this weekly.
Right. Tell us your experience when your company, you get people to do the live stream, and then what happens in the live stream.
Well, usually, first of all, when you're doing live stream, especially, let's not talk about because now we're talking about potential customers. I'm talking about existing customers. So when we're doing live stream, the first thing we need to make sure is that you need to get to advertise your live stream, because if nobody watches your live stream, especially in a cold market, well, you can't just be online and nobody watch at you. It's a depressing thing. So we focus on actually paying advertisement or also getting someone who is famous or who already have their followers to go together, so that when we approach these people, at least there are people to approach to. So we will apply the sales skill, like you mentioned, the sales system, to make sure that they are interested in our topic and then send their inquiries.
Correct. Yeah, that is right. It is to get potential customers to come to your live stream.
That's true.
If potential customers don't come to your live stream,
well, you're talking to air, I would say.
Right. And not only that, if your existing customers were to come to your live stream, also no point.
Yeah. Well, maybe to upsell and to cross-sell.
Right.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So that's why you need to get potential customers to come to your live stream.
That's
and
true.
Live stream is one of the better way in terms of how you can get people to respond to you and to collect information about these potential customers.
That's true. Because through the live stream, I think they will actually ask their inquiries about the product. They will sometimes ask very funny questions. But because of these questions, they were able to answer and handle their objection, also handle their questions and problems. Because sometimes they come to a legit question. Can this product actually solve my problem? Yeah. So if you answer it well, I think that's a sale.
Very true. Right. So that is one part of that. Now, the other part is that some companies, they are still doing this, right? I'm not sure how effective it is. They are doing email marketing. So which means that I collected your email. I don't know from whichever is the source. And then from there, I send out the emails to promote my company, to promote my products, and to share with you information about what I'm doing. So I believe, I'm not sure about the success rate, but based on my experience, is about 2 to 3% of response rate from email blasting.
Yeah, that's true, because email blasting has a lot of difficulty right now, as the mail providers like Hotmail, Gmail, Outlook, they actually screen through a lot of emails, and when they find that your mail are likely spam, they throw it in the spam mailbox, and if many people mark you as a spam, then most likely your mail will just, go into the void, and nobody reads that. Nobody actually checks the junk mail every day, unless they are really registering for something. So, like you said, the success rate is low, but then again, if they are, let's just say that doing cross-selling or doing upselling, they are giving a very juicy offer, I believe that the likelihood of that email going into the junk mail will be much lower.
That also depends, because if, let's say, usually when companies do an email blasting and they are above a certain number of emails that they send out, usually it will go into the spam.
That's true as well. So it's not that easy. It
it's
involves
not.
a lot of technical knowledge
Correct.
as well.
Although there are softwares that are doing that, but still the success rate is not that high. Usually for me, personally, if I receive any of these mails that I don't recognize, I'll usually just delete.
Yeah, too many spam, too many scam as well.
Yeah, and especially the number of scams that are coming in, it's like tremendous.
True.
And the other part, in terms of how we can generate leads, are also work with influencers, or here, this is what we call as affiliate marketing.
KOL marketing, affiliate marketing.
Yeah. Now, why this is also another way in terms of how you can generate your leads is simply because your customer base can be very small.
That's true.
And every influencer, they have their own base. Yeah, their subscriber base, their followers, and everybody targets a totally different base. Then that's where you work with these influencers and you expand your potential customers' base. Yeah, what we call as riding on these influencers.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, has been a very popular method, and some influencers in China, I would say that their daily sales of doing just one live stream can even exceed the annual sales of some public listed company, and it's becoming unstoppable right now.
True.
Yeah, and even there's a government crackdown on them because they have been avoiding taxes or whatnot. it's just simply so crazy. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and one of the things, I think the shortfall will be the cost of getting the influencers, because the cost is very, very expensive, I would say.
Definitely. And that is why influencers, if they are really popular, they can really bring in the potential customers for you.
That's true. Yeah. So you pay what you get, I guess.
Do you all work with influencers?
Yes. We actually do that with some influencers prior that, and we actually receive very good results, to be fair. I mean, one of the months we actually made more than $150,000 just in one market.
Wow.
Just with working with just one influencer.
Oh, just one.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if it's times 10?
But then again, there was like few years back when this thing is not so popular, and then but to replicate that success when we try to with the same person again, we can't even replicate even 10% right now. It's not that easy right now.
Yeah, because it's very saturated. I would say that. Yeah, everybody is claiming to be an influencer.
Oh yeah, everyone's an influencer right now.
All right, and the next one, which I'd like to share also in terms of online leads, is that PPC. Right. For those of you who do not know what is PPC, PPC is pay-per-click. Leo, would you like to?
Yeah, I think one of the things that pay-per-click will be focusing on the people that really want your product, I would say, because that's when we talk about pay-per-click, most of us will talk about Google Ads.
Google Ads, Facebook Ads.
Yes. Yeah, and then we actually have to be very specific on the needs, because pay-per-click is actually very straight to the point, but then again very expensive as well, because they only charge you when they click it.
Of course. And what about the success rate?
I would say that if you have the right keyword, and that keyword is exactly what you can deliver, I think so far we experienced 25% success closing rate.
That's pretty good, 25%.
Yes. And you have to be very creative for the keyword that you set you as well. And one of the things that I can really share when it comes to Google AdWords is like, for example, I'll give you an example. You want to sell something like Vico, Milo. I'll say Milo. You can't, if you want to sell something that is similar to Milo. Milo is a very successful brand in Malaysia. So what you focus on the AdWords on Milo, but then again you sell something similar to it, then you enjoy a higher success rate. Then again, don't forget, when people search for Milo, they want Milo. They don't want your brand. So that poses another issue as well. But then again, this is one of the strategies that I have been consistently using to find exactly who is my competitor. Let's just say that I'm selling Vico, my competitor will be Milo. So I find ways where I can convince the users of Milo that I'm better. Yeah. So I find that to convince I call them actually existing customers of chocolate beverage malt drink. So it's actually easier than to go to the market there and then try to tell people that my drink is better. Just like I think we can talk about the Luckin coffee. They only have to convince Starbucks user to their coffee. Yeah. And with the pricing and the better quality, voila.
I think they are doing a good job in terms of getting customers from Starbucks.
Oh, yes. They are really winning the market because number one, price, they got it right. It's like 50% less. And number two, they actually got the market of the Asian right because they cater the product that's non-dairy. And 70% of the Asians are actually lactose intolerant. So they really nailed the problem in Asia.
Right. Yes. So basically, those are the few methods in terms of how you can actually generate online sales.
Yes.
Online leads, sorry, not sales. Online leads.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And allow me to actually share with you because I actually make, I would say that 90% of my sales from online. And online has been something that I really love. And when it comes to lead, like I rightly mentioned, I always like to find keywords that are popular, and I like to identify what are my strengths. Okay, once I know that certain products are very popular, and I have some products that exactly able to compete with the product, I know that I have a game right here. Because if you go and tell people that chocolate malt drink, I don't think people actually search for chocolate malt drink online. But if you go to identify the niche, from this niche, you are able to get a very high high success rate, high ROI pay-per-click.
Yep. So basically, that's what we would like to cover today, right? We have covered in terms of the potential customers. Please remember to generate leads first, right? 2 ways to generate leads, offline and online.
Yes. And then, of course, offline will be more challenging. Then again, there are, of course, many better other ways to make it. And then the online way perhaps will be more straightforward. Yeah. And I hope that through this podcast, you guys know how to actually generate leads and then win more sales together. Well, if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section. And then I can't wait to see you guys on the next episode. See you next week.
See you.